I was 16. 16, an age when most young people are still preparing for entrance exams, playing cricket in their background, or dreaming about the glittering possibilities of college life. But my path was slightly different. Circumstances pushed me to grow up earlier than I had planned. Right after finishing my 12th grade, I picked up a job at a CA firm. I picked up ledgers, I balanced accounts, and immersed myself in the daily routine of numbers. I thought perhaps this was to be my destiny. Learn accounting and one day become a career accountant. Yet deep within, a whisper grew louder. The very thought of spending my entire life as an ordinary accountant was unsettling, stifling, and even suffocating. I was already financing my graduation. I was not privileged child of elite school. I was the product of humble government school where Hindi was the medium, resources were scarce, and mediocrity was a constant companion. I had no silver spoon, no cushion of legacy, but I had something else, something powerful. Like any youngster, fire in the belly. I refused to accept status quo, Latin word for as it is. When I enrolled myself in the very first batch of Chartered Accountancy Foundation course, I was advised, do it in English. Now let me confess, me and English were never best of the friends. I grew up in a world where nothing, absolutely nothing, was to be wasted. Every grain of rice, every rupee coin, every drop of water, efficiency was our gospel. So I could never make sense of a language that carried so many letters which were well silent. Why write something you won't even pronounce? Why keep what you will never use? To my simple mind, English seemed full of unnecessary frills. But life has a way of teaching you its truth, and I realized if I wished to challenge the status quo, I had to transform myself. That meant not just learning English, but learning to think, argue, persuade, and eventually dream in it. So I plunged in with heart within and God above. I completed my chartered accountancy, I completed law, and in time I found myself working with firms like KPMG, Amarchand Mangaldas. Names that once felt like stars were within the reach. I authored 2 books. I delivered lectures in India, New York, Washington, Kuala Lumpur, yes, in English, the very language I once smoked for its silent letters. Yet, success is a tricky companion. It comforts you, but it also whispers, is this all you were meant for? Later in life, I discovered something unsettling again. A vast section of our society, small businesses, humble entrepreneurs, struggling citizens, could not afford quality legal support. The brightest minds of our profession naturally gravitated towards big firms drawn by prestige, pay, and promise. And there's nothing wrong in that. But the rebellion inside me spoke again. Why should only the elite have access to the world-class advice? Why should small businesses should not feel touch of excellence? Why should justice be rationed only to those who can pay for it? So once again, I challenged the status quo. I stepped away from the comfort and plunged into the uncertain waters of tax litigation, a path that demanded courage, resilience, and relentless reinvention. But destiny was not done with me. There was another battle to fight. I was, by nature, an introvert. The kind of person who could walk into the room and disappear into its corners. I had mastered invisibility. I could remain unnoticed in a room full of crowd. My presence as silent as shadow. But litigation, my friends, does not permit shadows. Litigation demands voices. It demands that you rise, you speak, you persuade, not timidly, but thunderously. To be heard in the courtroom, you cannot whisper. You must roar. So once again, I challenged the status quo. And after 15 long years of standing, arguing, stumbling, learning, and rising again, here I am today, standing before hundreds of bright minds like you, not as the boy who once hid in the corners, but the man who has found his voice. The lesson is simple. If you wish to change the world around you, you must first transform yourself. You must challenge the status quo within you. Transformation begins not with society, not with government, not with others, but with you. I call this butterfly theory. Consider the butterfly. It begins life as a humble caterpillar, earthbound, unremarkable, slow. Then it enters a cocoon, a place of silence, darkness, and seeming death. But out of that confinement emerges a new creature, radiant, free, and soaring. A caterpillar and a butterfly. Can you even call them same being? The transformation is so complete, so radical, that they appear to belong to different worlds. In the same way, your journey of life must be one of metamorphosis. To remain a caterpillar is to remain ordinary. To embrace transformation is to embrace flight. Now let me turn this towards you. You, the youth sitting before me, brimming with energy, ambition, and restless dreams. And ambition is good, but I want to invite you to something greater than ambition. I want you to be the visionaries. Ambition seeks success. Vision seeks significance. Ambition seeks self. Vision seeks collective. Ambition wants to climb. Vision wants to elevate. A visionary does not merely want to rise. A visionary wants everyone to rise. A visionary is inclusive, expansive, compassionate. A visionary wants not just a career, but a cause. And when you open your eyes with vision, you cannot escape certain dark realities around you. A society where income opportunities remain scarce, a system where corruption seeps into life, a planet where rivers dry, soils turn to desert, and glaciers recede silently. Cities where infrastructure crumbles, farmers who toil yet cannot make ends meet, schools and hospitals where quality remain a distant dream. Women and children who remain vulnerable, unseen, unheard. Each of these challenges mocks us daily. And when we confront them, we feel powerless, helpless, small. But let me ask you, are we truly powerless? The ancient seers of India gave us a profound answer. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. I am the creator. I am the power itself. Now think of the enormity of this idea. You're not a speck of dust tossed by fate. You're very source of creation. You're not powerless. You are the power. You're not insignificant. You are infinity. You're not helpless. You're the potential itself. When you embrace this truth, you stop asking, can I make the difference? And begin declaring, I will make the difference. And let me show you how. We live in an age where consumer is king. Every click you make, every purchase you choose, digital footprint you leave, companies track them. They adapt, they change, they innovate based on your behavior. So I urge you, challenge the status quo by becoming a conscious consumer. If you abhor child trafficking, don't hire an underage domestic worker and don't silently endorse friends and relatives who hire them. If you're worried about women trafficking, stop consuming the content that fuels that industry. If you're worried about collapsing in urban infrastructure, don't buy from the illegal shops in residential colony. If you're worried about farmers, consume raw food, pay them decent price, and treat them with dignity. If you want your children to be free of toxins, demand organic food and support those who cultivate it. This is how small daily acts of consciousness ripple great waves of change. And that brings me to another word, enshrined in preamble of our constitution, fraternity. Fraternity is not merely brotherhood. It is built on trust. And I ask you, do we trust our fellow citizens? Do we trust that the driver will not jump a red light and endanger our family? Do we trust that someone will not park his car carelessly and block my car? Do we trust that the doctor will prescribe the medicine which I need, not just to inflate his bill? Do we trust that the police will enforce law and order with integrity and impartiality? This trust, this mutual trust, is the soul of fraternity, and it is missing today. We often complain, I cannot trust my fellow citizen. But pause and ask, can my fellow citizen trust me? If the answer is no, then let us stop talking about changing the world. But because change begins with our own conduct. If I drive with discipline, if I speak with respect, if I transact with honesty, if I remain faithful to my duty, then and only then will I have right to demand change from others. You, my friends, are the leaders of tomorrow and today. Leadership is not conferred by titles. Leadership is claimed through conduct. An individual is the smallest unit of a nation. Therefore, if the individual changes, the nation has no choice but to change. You are not waiting for New India. You are New India. You are not hoping for a brighter tomorrow. You are brighter tomorrow. Transform yourself, refuse to accept the status quo, and be a conscious consumer. Be a trustworthy citizen. Be a visionary. Remember what Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse 21. Yad yada charti shreshthas tat tada vetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever action a great person performs, common people follow. Whatever standard they set, the world pursues. So I say this to you. You are the leader of this new nation. You transform, the country will transform. You are not powerless. You are the power. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. And let us not forget, it begins with we the people, it continues with we the people, and it will triumph with we the people. Thank you.